And what's the tattoo on the neck?
It's my wife's name.
I always say, if you're going to put names on your body, the safe bet is your mom, because your mom always loves you, and your children. Everybody else.
Daughter.
Or your judge, your fellow prosecutor.
Yeah, let's not do that. I don't want some girlfriend saying, and who's Stephanie Boyd?
Stephanie Boyd.
So you're not working, she's not working. How are y'all supporting the 2-year-old?
My mom is still sending me money.
I'm trying to do my best up there. I was in a really bad relationship with this one girl that
I already had told everyone that that relationship with the was not going to work.
Yeah.
But you and her, because she came in on your behalf, I want to live. I'm like, this relationship is not going to work. But you all two crazy children wanted to do it.
Judge, we are going to be asking for a little bit more time. I've got 2 motions that I've prepped up. I have them for you to review here today if you care to. Otherwise, we can have a standalone setting if you prefer.
I do. Let me see. What are the motions?
It's a motion to appoint, thank you, mental health expert and investigator. I'm retained on the case, but I was hired by his mom. His mom has since had a change in employment, which cut her salary in half. She can no longer afford to fund those types of things. I have my client's last 3 pay stubs up there. He was originally declared indigent and appointed an attorney. I believe he's still indigent, so we'd ask the court to allow him the types of relief that an indigent client would have, even though I'm retained on the case. I believe that these are pertinent to us evaluating Mr. Crom, both in far as the guilt and innocence goes, as well as if he is found guilty.
So are you saying that he is incompetent or?
I don't think he's incompetent. I have concerns potentially about the legal definition of sanity sometimes, not when I interact with him, but just based on statements others have said.
So are you asking for a sanity evaluation?
That and just a mental health evaluation to determine how he perceives the world, how his brain reacts to certain situations, et cetera. Good.
All right. So with regards to your motions, the court will set a date to have a hearing on those. And you'll need to bring documentation that he's unable to afford a mental health expert.
Are the pay stubs that I provided sufficient? They should be in there somewhere, but if not, I'll double
No,
check.
we'll set it for a hearing. Ms.
Okay,
Ferguson,
here, sorry.
can you set this for a hearing? It shouldn't take that long.
His mom might want to testify. Can she do it via Zoom, Judge?
If the state has no objection.
I don't think I would. And that's
All right. So Ms. Ferguson, can you give us a date?
I can do October 18th
Are you able to put it on next week?
next week.
If not, we can do it the 18th.
The 18th, but it would have to be exactly at 9 in the morning. Nine.
I actually happen to be open the 18th and 9 o'clock.
Let me see. Are we going to be in a jury trial that week?
We might.
Could we do it at 8:30 maybe before y'all would?
No.
Fair enough, Judge. I had to ask.
Norma, can you put it on the 16th or 17th?
I can do it on the 16th.
All right. October 16th for your motions. Make sure they're filed.
We'll do, Judge. Thank you.
All right. Hello. So your attorney is out ill, and so are other family members. So we're going to give you a reset. All right. What date, Ms. Ferguson?
Bring back the judge was asking me the next, what we can do in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I can do, I think it's November 2nd.
All right. Well, we'll see you back on my birthday. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I believe so, Judge. We did file 2 motions that you called us back on last setting. I was sick. I'm still sick, which is why I'm not standing before you coughing in your face. But I'm well enough to participate today. Those were e-filed and have been accepted by the clerks as of this morning. I do have his financial documents that I did not e-file as an exhibit that I can send to you.
What are those motions?
Motion to appoint an expert to do a mental health evaluation, and then a motion to appoint an investigator. He does not make much money. His mom is the one who hired me. And
Just
then,
1 second. Could I have those motions? Just give us a moment.
no problem. Thanks, Judge.
All right. Defense has filed 2 motions. One motion is a motion to appoint an investigator. The other is a motion to appoint a mental health expert. Defense, you're retained?
Yes, Your Honor. Sorry. I was sending those emails to Norma, but they've been sent, so I'll be on this.
All right. So As you know, counsel, you have to present information for the reason why the court should appoint an investigator and appoint a mental health expert for your client since you are retained. So you may proceed. You're muted.
Sorry, I'm out of Zoom practice at this point. At this time, I'll call Caleb Chrome.
All right. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Caleb Chrome.
All right. Defense.
Caleb, in this case, did you originally hire me or did a family member hire me?
My mother.
Okay. And since the time where your mother hired me, has she had a change in employment?
Yes, sir.
What, financially speaking, what did that change of employment do for her finances?
It lowered her income monthly.
Do you know by how much?
A lot.
Okay.
Maybe like a couple thousand.
Okay. And your financial situation, where do you work?
The wash tub.
Okay. Approximately how many hours do you work per week?
Less than 35.
Okay. At the end of the month, how much do you have left over for discretionary spending each month?
Maybe at most $100.
Okay. And you do have a savings account that has about 700 in it right now, correct?
Yes, sir.
But that money is already earmarked for bills. That's not a savings account for an emergency or anything like that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have people that you take care of?
I have my daughter and my wife as well. We team up to help my daughter.
Okay. Do you have any assets that you could sell to try and help finance hiring of an expert, hiring an investigator?
No, sir.
If this court were to require you to pay for an expert, an investigator, would you be able to do so?
Probably not. Not without help.
And then, is your mom the only person who can usually help you?
Yes, sir.
And she's not in a current position to do so with what she's making.
No, sir.
Okay. The pay stubs that are working their way to the judge right now, you provided those to me?
Yes, sir. And I have, I think, another one too. I have not sent you yet.
Okay, we can get those to the judge if she needs it. Are those pay stubs representative of, and Mr. Banks did take a look at these last time, Your Honor. We just weren't able to move forward.
Any objections to court reviewing that?
No objection.
Thank you.
And are these representative of approximately what you make on each paycheck, Caleb?
Roughly.
Thank you. Do you have anybody else aside from your mom who you could ask for help at this time?
Not really.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And then regarding your mental health, can you tell us a little bit about some of your mental health struggles growing up and what you struggle with now even?
I have been diagnosed with autism, ADHD, depression, and for the most part, I think that's all.
Is there any bipolar in there or am I?
I think that got ruled out.
Okay.
But 100% sure.
When officers arrested you, your family went into detail with the officers about your mental health struggles as well, correct?
I think I was the only one.
Okay. But when you were talking to the officers, you explained to them that sometimes your brain just reacts differently than people.
Yes, sir.
And does it take extra work for you to try and make the correct decision and understand things compared to what others deal with on a day-to-day basis?
Yes, sir.
Judge, this time it's going to be, I'll pass the witness. I had one other witness, but she was unable to be here today, unfortunately. It was his mom.
If I can, my mom was asking for the Zoom meeting.
Is she going to be able to log in if it's after 11?
I think I just received a text from her just a second ago, but I didn't want to pull out my phone.
All right.
Okay.
Any other questions for this witness?
Not at this time, Judge.
For the record, the court has reviewed the defendant's pay stubs from the wash tub. Does anybody want these submitted as exhibits?
No, Your Honor. Just your review is fine. I trust you.
All right. So I reviewed them. And one of the reason why I asked that question is because on the pay stub, it has a social security number. And if we were to admit it, that probably needs to be redacted.
One of the reasons why I preferred to email it to you as opposed to screen share.
And if you could give those to the defendant, please. All right, with regards to the defendant's motion for appointment of mental health expert, and also defendant's motion to appoint an investigator based upon the evidence that's been submitted to the court with regards to the defendant's ability to pay, the court is going to grant those motions. The court is going to find that the defendant is unable to afford a mental health expert or an investigator. And as both parties are aware, my job is to make sure that everybody has a fair trial. And based upon the questions that were asked by the defense counsel and the response, these are necessary experts that the defense may need in order to properly try this case if it comes to that point. So with regards to discovery, do you have all the discovery, Mr. Hobbs?
I believe so, Judge.
All right, State, did you make a offer?
I think has been made, yes, and defense has made a counter, and we're currently at an impasse.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, how long do you all expect this jury trial to last?
Oh, sorry, about 3 days. Yeah.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you set this for a jury trial date? Mr. Hobbs, it'll probably be in the new year.
That'd be fine, Judge. And as far as the evaluation goes, I suspect that we're going to be using just the normal ones that Bear County uses. Do we know the turnaround to have them talk to him and provide a report for those things?
I'll have Ms. Ferguson forward it to Judge Carruthers, but what you'll need to do is you'll need to contact Judge Carruthers as well, because your client is on bond. They'll need his contact information so they can set up an appointment.
Absolutely. In the new year's fine, and I can't promise that if those reports aren't ready, I won't come with a motion for continuance.
Oh, those reports will be ready. Okay. So your jury trial date and plea deadline date is going to be January 16th. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, Your
And
Honor.
have a happy birthday too.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thanks, Caleb. I meant to say it too, Judge. I'm sorry.
We have a motion to set bond. His bond was revoked. He's been here all morning. I was a little bit late, so my apologies on me being late.
Well, I mean, he wasn't here at 9.
He was texting with me. I told him to wait in the hall because I'd prefer to talk to him in the hall versus in the box.
So when people say people have been here, I'm thinking that means inside the courtroom.
If you're angry with someone, let it be at me, Judge. I instructed
I'm not
him.
angry.
I don't know.
I'm just stating
I just
facts.
didn't want you blaming my client for being late.
Oh, I don't blame anybody.
Okay.
I just accept facts as they are and then make a decision on the facts that are presented to me.
Understood. I felt it was easier for me to have a conversation with him in the hall than the box because I'm not very good at whispering. As your bailiff can attest to, she shushes me 40 times every time I'm in here. I don't blame her.
Surely not 40 times.
It feels like it. She's not there. So he was arrested on 3 new misdemeanors. He has made bond on those. We're asking the court to reinstate his $20,000 bond, but if the court doesn't see fit, Zach and I have spoken, and we believe that $30,000 is an agreeable amount. His original bond was 20 on this.
So are we only here for a bond? What are we here for today? Just this bond?
It was originally set as a jury trial setting, Judge, but this is also the case where the mental health professionals got signed off on a week or two ago, where the confusion on competency versus a mental health professional was ironed out when you signed the orders. So those people have not had time to do their jobs, obviously. But we are asking the court, and Zach was okay with us presenting the court the motion to set bond on this case. His mom is here, his father's here, and his wife is here. So we've got a lot of family support. His grandpa is supporting him during this time as well, but he is about to be in hospice, so his health is not allowing him to be here.
Okay. Ms. Ferguson,
Yes, ma'am.
on this case, set this mid-February for an update on this mental health issue.
Can we do late February? I'm out of the country mid-February.
When are you back?
I believe I'm gone from the 7th to the 17th, but I can check my calendar. Correct. I return on the 17th, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, put this on the 20th.
Yes, ma'am.
And then with regards to the bond, have Judge Nahara hear this, so Judge Nahara will hear it.
Do I need to contact that court to have that set, or how's it work?
Ms. Ferguson is going to get in touch with them.
Okay.
You file your motion, you have a motion with you,
I do. The paper's in the file, and I e-filed it this
we
morning.
can send it to him.
Today.
Yeah, it's
Okay, yeah, I wanted to get a sense of what the timeline was.
Yeah, and they'll contact you with whatever date.
Okay. Okay, so he won't be taking over there, is what you're saying?
No.
Okay, all right. How are you today, Judge?
Oh, I'm doing great. All right, so there's supposed to be an update on mental health.
So Judge, he's been waiting for the competency to be done, but hasn't got anything there. And I do have an update on the private one that you've granted funds for.
Yes.
I'm struggling to get that same expert paid on a different case that I had her appointed on, to the point where she is now saying that she is not inclined to take any further.
All right, so that's not out of this court where she's not being paid, is it?
No, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. And for what it's worth, the judges in that court have been helpful. It's just been a process to get everything signed, and then I suspect she's going to be paid eventually, but I understand her frustrations.
Mhm.
And so what I'm hoping is you'll give me a little bit of time to see if I can find a different expert. I do think the expert's still needed. Obviously, the court agreed in granting me $1,200 for it. And then if you'll allow me, I'll just run down to competency this morning and talk to Judge Carruthers' staff to see
Yes.
what we're
If
missing
you, I
there.
tell you what, if you will run down to Judge Carruthers' court right now
Okay.
and then come back up and see what date they give you, that will be appreciated.
Absolutely. I'll be right back. I'll let them know when I'm ready.
All right, thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Thanks, Judge.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Is she on Crum?
As I said, it takes about 2 months to get it scheduled. It was sent over, I think, middle of January, and ballpark of January 15th. So I think that gives us until March 15th, where hopefully, they couldn't give me a date. I asked that.
All right, can I see the file on Crum?
You want my client back up, Judge?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I have it here.
Okay,
I have so many files up here today.
I'll take whatever back you need.
All right, so we're gonna recall your case on March 18th.
Yes.
And they think that they will have that done by then, counsel?
It was unclear if it would be scheduled by then or if it would be done by then. I took it to mean it would be done by then.
Okay,
We get closer to that date and I don't have, if he hasn't had the evaluation with one of the doctors yet, then I'll come let the court know ahead of time. I just got back in the country. I would have let y'all know before today.
okay.
You said which day, Judge?
March 18th.
Thank you. I will use my best efforts to locate a substitute expert witness, and then I will bring you an updated order with that name should I get someone before then.
Okay.
Would that be okay with the court?
Yes. All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Sure.
You're welcome. All right, where are we on the mental health update?
We have the report back, Judge, the actual judge's adjudication of it. It's not until I think later this week, actually.
It's on Friday.
Yeah, I believe he's going to be found competent.
Okay,
I'm still working on, here's what we're asking the court today, and I think the state's joining in this request. There's some new information that came out on his more recent case that I've pointed the state to, saying that I think they need to look at it. What they're going to do is they're A, going to look at it, and B, maybe come up with a universal offer that takes care of everything. Because of competency and other mental health issues in this case, I don't believe we ever had a final plea by deadline. So I'd like one more pretrial if the court can give it to us. I'm also still looking, you authorized me with $1,200 for a mental health expert, not for competency purposes, but for potentially mitigation at sentencing purposes. And as I've told you before, my expert backed out of that based on the fact that she is having trouble getting paid from, and it's not your court, Judge, but she's having trouble getting paid by the auditor's office, much like I just heard you talk about.
Okay.
And I don't blame her. She said, Colin, I'm not going to do any more. Like, it's too much hassle to get paid. I've been trying to make some calls to find someone else. I'm still trying. I might bring you an updated order at some point with a new one. But as of this point, I've not been able to secure anyone who's willing to take a court-appointed case right this moment. So I'd like one more pretrial. I think there's issues that I've pointed the state to that might make their offer change for the better.
all right, so the final date on this case is going to be April 30th. What's going to be due is states you have to tender an offer at that time, and acknowledgement of discovery needs to be completed.
Okay, Judge.
All right, see you on April 30th. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused, okay?
Thank you.
So, what is your relationship to Mary Crom?
That's my step grandmother.
Okay,
And that was the person that I was referring to when I said she has the capability of leaving the house to visit him.
all right. Does she want to visit him?
She does.
Okay,
That's the only grandma he's known.
okay,
She's been in his life, his entire life.
all right. Court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. All right, does anyone want to speak to the length of probation?
I usually let counsel go. Do you mind if I get us started on for this one? So, Your Honor, we conferred at length on multiple occasions here. In terms of the length, we want this individual to have as much supervision as possible. And given their willingness to accept a plea with respect to, in particular, those 3 JSATs, in connection with this case and the no contest we've already spoken about, given that it's the nature of the deferred, again, we were hoping for the maximum opportunity to supervise and give this individual a chance to turn things around.
All right, then it will be 10 years deferred adjudication. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon, affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Megan Amanda Crum, Cal Casper. There's to be a judgment satisfied in the following cause numbers. County Court at Law 724-258, 724-259, 724-260.
Judge, just for the record, we completed those plea bargains, JSAT and County Court 13 impact this morning. Those have been completed at this time.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular UAs. All right. So ThriveWorks, who do you see there?
I have to look at my phone what her name is. I don't have it by heart yet. I've been going for about 3 weeks, but I haven't got her name down yet in my mind yet.
All right. So what you're going to have to sign a release so that probation will know what's going on with that. And how often are you seeing them?
She was busy this week. It's usually once a week. But I just started back in school, so I'm trying to get my schedule settled with schooling. But I think we have another appointment maybe next week.
All right, you're going to sign a release and you're going to continue with your treatment at ThriveWorks. And I know my accent is getting in the way, so it's ThriveWorks.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And probation, their number is 571-771-2478. That's 571-771-2478. Now, with regards to your medication, it says that ThriveWorks, they have psychiatrists and they do medication.
They do. I was talking to one of the ladies there and she recommended me find one that's an in-person person because they can do more than I guess someone that's on Zoom. Because I think she's only Zoom. I don't know, it's weird. She just recommended me to find someone that's like more of in person, like Center of Health, for instance. But I'm working on it. I'm trying to get it as quickly as possible because I know I need to get back on meds.
So are you on any medications at all?
Yes and no. Really mainly no, because the other ones aren't really working. But I found new coping skills and everything else to keep me calm and collected.
So what are you receiving medication for? What's your diagnosis?
For my anxiety, my PTSD, my ADHD, my depression, and my autism.
All right, so here's the thing. I know you understand and you're saying that Center for Healthcare Services is not listening to you. I understand that. Sometimes doctors don't listen to people. They want to go through their steps that they always go through. But you know you're supposed to be on some form of medication.
I know.
And you need to be on medication. So it's either going to be medication through Center for Healthcare Services or either you're going to go through ThriveWorks. But you're going to have to get on your medication and I'm going to give you 3 weeks. And so it's either going to be probation, it's either going to be Center for Healthcare Services, or either it's going to be ThriveWorks for him to get in compliance with his medication.
I should be with the MAC before 3 weeks. I
Okay.
should be with them. And if I do, I can always contact probation.
And what does MAC stand for?
I don't remember what it stands for, but I know they work with a lot of like autism and stuff too. So it's over like
It Is it through the Behavioral Health Center?
Maybe, I don't know. I know it's like Morgan's Mac or something like that. You have like colorful, like a little butterfly and stuff, you know.
Okay.
Oh, I think I found it because I see the butterfly.
Mhm.
Morgan's MAC is Multi-Assistance Center. If you want to look it up on your end,
Sorry.
Multi-Assistance Center. A collaborative care community center for individual with disabilities and special needs.
And just one moment, any objection to the court reviewing the MAC?
No objection.
No, not at all.
And we're off the record. I don't see where they do anything as far as,
So they have a lot of things there. They help with like finding jobs, medications, counseling, and then a mixed up majority of things. It's a big building, so they have like different offices in there.
probation. Have you ever had any contact with MAC? Okay.
If I might make a suggestion, Your Honor.
Oh, just one moment.
Yeah.
I'm reviewing something. Well, what I can tell you, MAC, you know who's under their umbrella from what I'm looking at online? Center for Healthcare Services.
Really?
And that's where they'll be sending you to.
Oh, wow.
So,
I guess I'll
because
just stay with
everything
that.
else,
I'll
so
just-
I'm gonna order Center for Healthcare Services.
Okay.
And you will need to advocate for yourself or either get someone to advocate for you with regards to medication.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna go back on the record. So the court is gonna order a Center for Healthcare Services referral. If you no longer want to be with them, then you're gonna have to get someone else.
Okay. Do I have to come back to court or do I have to just tell my?
No, probation is gonna let you know, and you need to follow those conditions. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So if
So-
he does find another mental health professional that he would like to see instead, and probation tells him no, there's nothing prohibiting me. from
Here's the
coming
thing,
back.
probation is not going to tell him no. So I'm referring you to Center for Healthcare Services. The probation officer is right to the back. If you turn to the back, there is Miss Abrams and Caroline. I am letting them know that you're being referred to Center for Healthcare Services. If you do not wish to go to Center for Healthcare Services, the other option and what will be acceptable to the court, if you have another provider, and that means a psychiatrist to issue medications. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be 200 hours of community service restitution. You say you're in school?
Yes, ma'am.
How many
And,
hours are you taking per semester?
I don't know what the semester hours is, but I know it's from 6 p.m. to 12 o'clock at night.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna start back at work, which is gonna be from morning to like 5.
All right. There's 200 hours community service restitution. If he provides proof that he is in school full-time, and I know that's at night, but 6 to 6 sounds like some good hours. Each semester that he's in school, states you can deduct 10 hours.
Just if he maintains full employment after he graduates, given that he has a young child, that's one of the reasons he's been seeking to better himself, get back in school, get better employment. If he has full-time employment, could we also work out some type of arrangement where that's forgiven over the course of time?
Yes.
Thank you.
Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider with minors, and there's to be parenting classes and anger management class. Probation. Is there anything else? All right. Is there anything else you need from the court to? Thank you.
What was that judge on here?
Field visits. And the field visits will be one time per month until he's stable on medication. No, it's going to be the Center for Healthcare Services referral. And that place that's the multi-assistance, Center for Healthcare Services under their umbrella. So they're going to send him there anyway. But yes, 3 weeks compliance.
The judge did mention that he could get his own therapist. Okay, making sure.
Yes. Did that clear up? Or no?
It's fine.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
Later on.
All right. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney, did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, to be successful on probation in this court, communication is key. If there's an issue, go see your probation officer, call them, make sure you leave a message. If you feel as though they're not addressing that issue, then you can always come back to the court. And if I'm here, you can come back and see me.
Okay.
All right?
Then I have another question. So the anger management course and the family one, is that just like whenever I have time, or is there like
Oh,
a?
probation will set things up. The number one thing I want to focus on right now is getting your mental health issues stable. And probation will focus on your mental health. But then you're gonna have to start doing, so you need to focus on that. You need to focus on parenting classes.
I think, and Caleb, correct me if I'm wrong, one of his concerns is missing school based on conflicting schedules. He
no.
didn't wanna get kicked out.
No, nothing is happening with probation at 6 p.m. at night. I don't think probation officer wants to see you at 6 p.m.
Fair enough.
If they do, there's an issue. And in which case you'll be seeing me, not them. And I guarantee you won't be at 6 p.m. Okay. And what's the tattoo on the neck?
It's my wife's name. I'm trying to get some of my tattoos removed. I was young and kind of
All
reckless. I just don't have $2,000 right now.
Well, you know, I always say if you're going to put names on your body, the safe bet is your mom, because your mom always loves you, and your children. Everybody else.
Or your judge, your fellow prosecutor.
Yeah, let's not do that. I don't want some girlfriend saying, and who's Stephanie Boyd?
Just a reminder.
But you heard him say prosecutor, so when I get Zach's name on him, he's gotta give me better deals.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
He's usually in a button-up shirt. He just wasn't prepared to work this morning because he didn't know.
Oh, that's okay. He's still dressed appropriately.
Very good.
And I see he's letting his hair grow. Is he getting that from
guess.
you? Are you influencing him? All right, it's my understanding on Caleb Crum, you don't have any objections to the transfer?
No, Your Honor.
All right. And we talked before Mr. Crum was present. My understanding there have been no violations. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor. I will say he and his mom got into an argument, and so this is one of the reasons he's not living with mom. So he had to go to Waco, but he knows, of course, if the judge overrules this, then he will be coming back. I believe he told probation about it yesterday when they met. They were kind of asking late, but he contacted me beforehand. I had already spoken with Zach about this. He didn't have objections, but he didn't have any other place to stay in San Antonio at the time.
All right. Are there any children in this home where he's going to be?
There is, Caleb, you have a 8-month-old, 9-month-old, is it? How old?
2-year-old. It's my baby girl.
And he's already been proactive in reaching out and making mental health appointments, which were part of the conditions of his probation in the Waco area.
All right, probation.
Judge, sent from his probation officer, they don't have any opposition to the transfer to Waco.
And what county is that?
McLennan County.
I'm sorry, what?
McLennan County.
Okay. All right, then the other condition I'm gonna add, probation, if they do it, I'm gonna want field visits there just to check on things with the 2-year-old. And have you started your parenting classes?
I am looking into it here. I'm looking at different things. I have a counseling appointment next week. I'm gonna ask her also for advice if she knows anyone that is able to do parenting classes and I think my anger management classes. So next Monday, I'm gonna be asking her that too. I am doing my research though. I'm also currently about to start work at McDonald's too. I'm just waiting for my social security card to come in.
And the home you're at now, is it just you with the 2-year-old by yourself, or is there someone with you?
Right now, so the house, hold on, I'm gonna remove myself because people came around me. Hold on right quick. So the place I'm staying with is being remodeled. It's a home though that will be safe and stuff. I'm technically living with a buddy, but we're only 5 minutes away from the house. but I live with my buddy at the moment until we can get the house squared away.
All right, so here's my question. Are you currently living with the 2-year-old?
Yes, ma'am.
So it's your buddy, you and the 2-year-old?
Yes, ma'am. And my wife.
All right.
Caleb, when
And
you're,
where is she? And where is your wife now? Is she at the home now?
She is right in front of me. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
So what is her work schedule?
She is currently finding a job. Since we both just moved up here, she has an interview lined up soon, but right now she's not working.
So you're not working, she's not working. How are you all supporting the 2-year-old?
My mom is still sending me money, and then I still get my school funds in. So I still have money for food, rent, and stuff like that.
All right, just so you know, when the government sends you money for school funds, it's supposed to be for school. So your attorney can talk to
Yes,
you
ma'am.
about that.
With my school funds, I get so much of amount that some of that money I get has to go to school, but the rest is for me to keep.
And
For
are
the
you in
VA,
school?
I start back in January next semester.
All right. And your wife, does she have any type of mental health issues?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Probation. I'll allow the transfer to Waco. I'm gonna want field visits 1 time per month until further notice.
Okay, Judge.
And you're to provide probation your address, and you're not to move until you provide them with their address and they approve the new location. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. So do I give them my address I'm staying at then right now with my buddy, and then transfer it later to the address that we're rebuilding?
Yes.
Okay, we'll do that then.
All right. Is there anything else?
nothing further, Sanders.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
You too. And make. Well, Sean, you are correct. Allergies are horrible today. I mean, this whole side of me, blockage from allergies. And I don't know, it's only this side.
Really?
Yeah. Whenever my allergies act up, it's just one side.
Should you have those flowers up there next to you?
Oh, the flowers, let me just tell you, they bring me joy. And if ever you're having a bad day, you can look at the flowers and say, there's beauty in this world.
You have a lot. But is that real? That's not real, right?
No. But we can pretend that orchid is real.
What about those?
No.
Those,
Deputy, yeah, those are real. Deputy Laura actually put that together.
okay.
And then this was a gift to me from a student.
It's pretty.
Yeah. People always think that this one is real, which you think it's real, right?
That's a better view, the way you
Yes.
turned it.
But I've been trying, we're off the record. While he reviews that, I've been trying to find honeysuckle because it reminds me of my grandmother. It's so hard to find honeysuckle.
I've never really seen it in Texas. We had a lot in New Jersey growing
Mhm.
up, but I've never really seen it here. Must
So
be too
I'm
dry.
I tell you what, if I have to bring some back with me from Louisiana, I'm gonna take it across state lines.
I
And
think you're
plant
right.
it. You think I'm okay with that?
You're okay. I'll represent you.
All right, if they stop me on the flight, I'm gonna say,
I
Scott
didn't say on a
Simpson.
flight. I thought you were gonna drive it across.
I mean, I tell you what, if you're driving from New Jersey, bring some.
Okay.
All right, we're back on the record. So the letters I have were the attachments. And counsel, you have no objections to my seeing the attachments?
No, and then this is so that's a relative of him and his wife are not gonna, I've talked to the Brooklyn, the wife.
Mhm.
And so she got right back to me when I talked to her herself.
All right, and state you have no objection to me seeing what's purported to be the letter from the wife? Yes.
I have additional notes for your review. These are what could be CAD notes from McLennan County regarding the incidents in the letter. I've already turned them to defense counsel.
Any objections?
I'm gonna object to that one, Judge. It's just a reiteration of calls that were made that the grandfather doesn't like him. There's no doubt.
Okay.
And of course, but they don't want to be married anymore. I think that problem's going to be resolved. Brooklyn does not think he needs to go to prison. The wife herself has a different story than grandpa.
Okay, just one last second. Let me finish reading this. All right. So I've reviewed that, and you said there's something you wanted to tell the court.
Yes, Your Honor.
You want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Caleb Chrome.
All right, why are you not doing well on probation?
Your Honor, I moved to Waco, to try to better my life and get, away from the victims that were here and everything else. A little cheaper up there too. And I enrolled in TSTC, or Texas State Technical College, the school. They have a lot of, programs there to help me out and stuff like counseling and medication. I've been trying to look for jobs. They're helping me with that. They're helping me look for an apartment. I'm trying to do my best up there. I was in a really bad relationship with this one girl that her grandfather that the reports on, and I'm trying to get out of that relationship right now. I was living with a buddy. I was gonna report with probation. I think that week, the 18th, I think.
All right, but here's the thing. They're saying that you are not complying with the instructions for Center for Healthcare Services. So I want to know why, and I'm not taking 23 as true because they didn't go on 23, but I'm wondering why you're falling off track with your mental health. That's what I want to get to. I already had told everyone that relationship with the was not going to work.
Yeah.
But you and her, because she came in on your behalf, I want to live. I'm like, this relationship is not going to work. But you all two crazy children wanted to do it. So I'm not even into that relationship part. I want to know why you're not following through on your mental health treatment. That's a problem for the court.
So, the Center for Healthcare, I don't think they have that in Waco, so I was gonna go with TSTC and do it.
Well,
I
here's the
thought
thing. You're saying you don't think they have it in Waco, but why do you think they don't have it in Waco? Did you report that they give you information?
No, Your Honor, I was just assuming, and I also thought my other attorney had, put in the motion for the Center for Health and ThriveWorks to be transferred up there. So I was gonna go with Texas State Technical College.
Oh, no. Let me stop you there. And the reason why I'm stopping you, because you keep getting off track. Condition number 30 states that you did then and there fail to comply with the instructions of Center for Healthcare Services as directed by the head or authorized personnel of that agency, and that the defendant failed to get in compliance with his medication. The fact that you've played true to that tells me that there's a Center for Healthcare Services wherever you were, because otherwise this wouldn't be a violation. They wouldn't have it there. So they're saying that you're not in compliance with your medications and you're not following through on the instructions from Center for Healthcare Services to get in compliance with your medications. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, Your Honor.
So I want to know why you are not following through with instructions for Center for Healthcare Services.
Just misunderstood, Your Honor.
I mean, there's no misunderstanding when they say, hey, you need to get in compliance with your medication. And I'm sure they didn't say you need to get in compliance with your medications. I'm sure it was along the lines of you're not taking your medications. We have reports that you're not taking your medications. You need to get back on your medications, and you didn't do it. That's why you're here.
Yes, Your Honor.
So why are you not being in compliance with your medication?
I have no excuse, Your Honor. And I will accept that I messed up, and I'm wanting, if I can't go back to Waco and finish school.
Oh, you're not going back to Waco. That's off the table.
Okay, and I would like to at least stay with my mom then back down here. I have things lined up ready with,
All right, let me explain something to you, because I'd like for people to know where I am. Number one, if I don't revoke you, you're not leaving custody. You're going straight to DDRF. And DDRF, I know there's a wait time. Now, if you want to discuss that with your attorney, I'm not saying I'm going to do it. I don't know, but those are the only things that I'm considering right now. Either it's going to be revocation or either it's going to be DDRF. So before I even give strong thoughts to DDRF, you may want to talk to your attorney about that because of the wait time.
I understand.
And there's no need to come back to me saying, oh, the wait is too long. You know, can I do this from the outside? Because the answer is going to be no. So I don't know if you discussed that with your attorney.
It's a way better outcome than going to prison, Judge.
Well, I mean,
We've
but you
talked
wanna-
about it back and forth. We're not his mother too wanted to see if she could take custody of him. And so I promised I would make that argument, but I understand where the court's coming from. And I do think the DDRF is a good program. I wish the wait wasn't so long, but that's where we are. And if the court would be willing to do that, my client understands that's still a gift compared to being revoked and going to prison.
Yes, Your Honor.
all right. And I'm not saying I'm going to do DDRF, but is there anything you would like to add, state? And
Well, I just want to try and re-urge this because Your Honor is reviewing attachments from the court summary, and this is part of the attachments of the court summary. So if Your Honor's going to take a look at everything, we ask that you take a look at this as well.
no objections to the court reviewing that?
I do object, but that's.
No. I mean, if you object to it as hearsay, then I won't review it. What we can do is we can reset this. And if you want to have witnesses by Zoom to address this, that can be done.
I don't think there's a need for that. I just wanted, Your Honor, if over objection. you
I would just ask the court to look at it with some. It's hearsay within hearsay, like, so these are just unsubstantiated reports. And I know the court will look at it critically. That's all I would ask the court, would just don't assume that it's truthful.
All right. So you have no objections to me taking it, as long as I'm not taking it for the truth of the matter, sir?
Well, you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah. All right, let me review. All right, so this is what I'm going to tell both parties. One, I read all of the hearsay documents. And what I can tell you, do I believe these documents are true? Yes. But I also know that when the grandfather had the police to come out, your wife would not tell them that anything was wrong. And the reason why I believe that she wouldn't tell them is because she doesn't want you to go to prison. And that's what she said. She wants him to get help. She doesn't want him in prison. But do I believe you did everything that's listed in here? Yes. Because all of the evidence point to the fact that you did this. And based upon what I'm reading about her grandfather and your child's great grandfather, because he's the grandfather of your wife, and he's the child's great grandfather. He's concerned about his grandchild and his great granddaughter, and rightfully so. And just so I want you to understand, I understand why he doesn't like you and doesn't want you in their life. Your child, is this a girl or a boy?
It was a stepdaughter, Your Honor.
It's on
And it
his.
was a girl.
All right. So
He doesn't have reason for her to be with her.
And so here's the thing. I don't know anybody here. Raise your hand if you want your daughter or your granddaughter to be involved with somebody who's on felony probation. I don't know anybody who would be like, oh yeah, sign me up. I want my granddaughter to be with someone who is on probation for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon against a family member. I don't know anybody who wants that. So when people are shocked that a relative doesn't like them, I'm shocked that you're shocked by that. And then you have mental health issues on top of that, and you're not taking care of your mental health issues. And I'm sure you're not bringing in money the way you were supposed to. And he's concerned that you're going to be violent towards his great granddaughter. And I always tell people children have absolutely zero say so in the foolishness that their parents are out here doing. Like the great granddaughter, his great granddaughter, I'm sure she would say, you know, please, I don't want you to be dating Caleb. I don't want Caleb in this household. But she has no say. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you've been doing horrible on probation. But I do realize you have mental health issues in state. Let me just explain something. I knew you all want 6 years in prison. He'll be eligible for parole in 3. He's still going to have the same mental health issues that nobody's going to address. And that's part of the court's issue. So part of the reason why I'm going to deny the motion is, one, because of what probation is requesting. They're requesting ISF. I don't think this is an ISF issue. I think this is an anger issue. I think this is a mental health issue. And I think you're using your mental health issues as a crutch to say, I'm angry because of my mental health issues. I really don't even think that is in any way related to your behavior. But we're going to correct your behavior. And if this correction doesn't take place, you're looking at 20 years in the prison.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Abrams, gonna deny the motion, alternate in and amend conditions. In custody to the court, he's gonna stay in custody until transfer to ISF. I'm sorry, not ISF, DDRF. And upon release, there is going to be full GPS and counsel with the full GPS. I'm going to say that I'm going to ask that the fees be waived.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And if you want it not to be full GPS, you need to come back here and we will craft something
Yes.
that will protect the community.
Thank you, Your Honor.
There's to be no contact with Brooklyn, BROOKLYND from. There's to be, do you have any children? Biological children?
Well, no.
There's to be no contact with minors. And defendant is not allowed in Waco, Texas. So that means if you're driving somewhere, because full GPS is now partial, you better not drive through Waco.
May I add, if I can at least go to Waco to get all my stuff, because all my stuff is still in Waco.
No, that's, you're gonna have to have a third party do that.
Okay.
Probation, is there anything else he needs? Could you return that to probation, please?
Yes, Judge.
Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
Not that I know of, Your Honor.
All right. thank
He's got
you.
a very supportive mother, Judge. She's really nice.
He's not allowed, Mom, he's not allowed in Waco. So, and he is not allowed to have any contact with minors. And he's not gonna be, so that means he can't reside in a home where there are minors. Yes, and he's not to have any contact with Brooklyn, his wife. If it comes time where they're doing divorce in the divorce proceedings.
Right, they are gonna have to do that.
Then just approach the court and we will take care of that.
Right.
Not the divorce, but I'll allow him to, if he's supposed to be in court on
Has
a
to be
specific.
served or whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I may ask, how long are we gonna plan for DDRF?
All right, so see,
Don't do that.
we can go off the record. Let me just explain something to you, what you don't understand. You were looking at 20 years in prison. And because this is an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, your attorney will tell you, you would have to do 10 years flat before you're eligible.
And he won't
That's
get out
where-
when he's first eligible.
No,
Generally, you're
probably
serving
not.
75% of your time.
So here you are, you've just escaped the jaws of the lion. And now you're trying to, how long is DDRF is going to be? Your attorney already told you that. Now, if you would like, because DDRF is going to be a long wait, just let probation know. Don't sign the conditions that I've just set for you. And we will come back quick, fast, and hurry, like today, on another motion to revoke, and I can send you to prison.
No problem. I was just wondering for school.
Oh, school, you're going to have to pick that up another year.
That's fine.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
You're welcome.